I am back again to talk some more common sense that no person with a brain should have to be explained, but apparently, logic is not the first aspect of most people's understanding of spirituality, right? They don't understand things from a critical point of view, like the stuff Jeff, well, what is it? And it's not Jeff, it's Bill Donahue talks about, like the fact that the separation of Eve from Adam, how that's talking about the splitting of the atom, right, which gave birth to everything, right? What does the word Eve mean? It goes back to the Hebrew word Hawa, which means life, and that is what gave all things life, was the splitting of Adam. It was the beginning, the thing that caused everything to come into existence. But I also wanted to say, and it's another thing that's going to boggle a lot of people. Some people might even consider it to be I don't know what they'll consider it to be. They might consider it to be prejudiced. They might consider it to be racist. I don't know. The fact of the matter is, though, it really doesn't matter what people think is racist. The fact of the matter is that if one side of an equation is always fighting, there's always going to be another side fighting, and there is no reason to take down one type of dangerous protesters if a bunch of dangerous protesters on the other side are also going to be up. Everything has to be eradicated equally. And for every Black Panther, I'm sorry, there has to be a KKK member. Because that's just how the world works. But this has nothing to do with any of that kind of stuff. This has to do with this nonsensical idea that anyone can be God's chosen people. Now, this is probably one of the most irrational beliefs of all time. It's just as equally as irrational as the idea that Christ is a human being, when Christ is not a human being. When it says, Jesus was a human being, but Christ is not a human being. It's a consciousness. And the same thing goes with Israel. Israel is not a goddamn lump of dirt in the middle of the motherfucking Middle East. It's not. If you take the number of the people who was in Israel in one of those verses, I forget exactly where it was, it equals the speed of light. I'm going to have to find that one day and show that was talking about the speed of light. But yeah, it's bullshit. They say that it says in the Bible that a Jew is a Jew inwardly. There's no such thing as a blood Jew, right? I had a great-grandfather who was supposedly a German Jew. And he wasn't a good guy. He was a fucking womanizer. He was a piece of fucking shit. He fucked every girl that he could get his hands on. If there's ever been a bloodline of Israel, he would have been the biggest. He would have been one of the biggest bastardizations. One of the biggest, one of the biggest disgraces. I mean disgraces to any so-called Jewish community, but really, that's even bullshit. When it says in the Bible that the Jews are the Jews in Christ, and if you consider the fact that that Christ is a consciousness, not a human being, and you understand that the land of milk and honey, which is the serotonin and the, well, not the serotonin, the melatonin and the DMT secreted through the pituitary gland and the pineal gland, the third eye. Jacob said, I have seen the place where God dwells. I call that place pineal. Then it really reveals the fact about Solomon's temple and, you know, and all that stuff being inside your brain. It reveals the fact that this nonsensical idea that there is a chosen people of God is utter fucking bullshit. I mean, there is every single person on planet Earth has a fucking Solomon's temple. Everybody has a third eye. Your eye be single, your body will be filled with light. The protons, man, they're in there. The electrons, they're in there, man. It's all in there. And just boggles my mind that there are still people dressed in black of all colors, got them stupid top hats on, going around saying they're Jews. There's no such thing, man. There's no such thing. What they refer to as a Jew is really just a sect of Canaanites that decided, all right, this bullshit that these other Canaanites are saying don't make sense, right? They're taking everything literally, you know, they're actually sacrificing children and stuff, and so, you know, these people became mystics. They went to Egypt, they learned some things about mysticism. They destroyed the fucking idol worship, which was the sacrifices and stuff to Baal, right? And then they built a name for themselves. They became the children of God. But see, what has happened over time is that those words have become, they went from esoteric to exoteric with an X. So they've pretty much divorced God. They're the X's of God. They are nothing more, as far as their blood is concerned, than Canaanites. That's literally all they are. They're fucking Canaanites as far as blood is concerned, because there's very little difference as far as DNA is concerned between an Arab, a Canaanite, and a Jew. Any difference there is doesn't even come from the Middle East. It comes from fucking Europe, you know? You could argue that Jews have lighter skin, and guess where that came from? That came from this so-called exile they talk about, which was actually just these people realizing that they had a heritage that had to do with spiritual things, and they divorced themselves from it. But you know, a lot of the Buddhists, a lot of the Hindus, a lot of the people on the other side of the planet are actually more Jewish in their practice than all the Jews combined, because what they have done is they have completely bastardized the definition of this stuff. They actually paid, I don't know how many dollars, to put these people back in this place that they call Israel, and that's never what the fuck it was. That's never what any of this shit was. Israel is not Levant corridor. Israel is not some fucking place beside Iraq and Syria. It's inside your heart. It's inside your brain. And it just boggles my mind how people in the church and these people in these synagogues are arguing to each other over who is the chosen people, and everybody has an Ark of the Covenant inside their brain with the cherubim in it. And I just wanted to say that I'm going to end this video with the title of this video. Bottom line, God has no chosen motherfuckers.